Good evening and welcome in live from the lily pad on this quite warm Thursday afternoon. It's been a very busy afternoon. I've been spending a lot of the day today doing some work on the computer and laptop and doing newsletters and all those sorts of things. A quick break to go to the hairdressers, so I should have the camera on me, shouldn't I? I'm looking glamorous for you this evening. But it does mean that I've not really prepped very much for this evening's Facebook Live, so we are going to go on the hoof, which is always exciting. It's good to live by the seat of your pants, isn't it? So if you don't know who I am, good evening. My name is Helen Jennings. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. 3 a.m. Ladies, what are you doing up at 3 a.m. in the morning? We obviously are, supporting our Australian insomniac friends. So welcome in. I hope you managed to get some sleep, or that you are at least awake for a very good reason and not just can't sleep. Oh, bless you. Well, welcome to come and play with us, Angie. Yeah, very sad that you can't sleep. I'll do my best to sort of talk soothingly, and perhaps you'll drift off. I won't take offence at the fact if you don't quite make it to the end, you've fallen asleep midway. I will consider that a service well done. My laptop is playing silly devils and doesn't want to come up, so we'll leave that to chug away for a minute, and I'll come back to that in a minute. So as I say, lovely to have you join me from wherever in the world you are joining me. That is fabulous. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm based here in Northamptonshire in the UK. It is now just gone 6 in the evening just here, and we're going to be playing with the Above the Clouds hot air balloon bundle in a moment. But before then, in front of you, you have got, hi Karina, you have got the new Stampin' Up Autumn Winter catalogue. I'm just tempting you with that, just showing off that I've got some. And if you want one and you're here in the UK, you can have one too. Just ask and I will ensure that you get one. I can't show you the inside of this catalogue, but I can tell you that there are some really lovely things in there. Your bank manager will tell you not to open it, but I'm saying go and look and have a lovely time choosing all those lovely things that you want. And don't forget that if your wish list comes to £99 or more, the way to go is your starter kit, and then for this month you get £155 worth of goodies for your £99, and next month, beginning of September, you'd get a voucher for a further £8 to spend on goodies as well. There are just some stunning things in this, and yeah, I just want it all, and I think you're going to want it all as well. So make the most of your pennies. Get the most you can from your pennies by getting your starter kit and getting more for your money. I've just spotted the end of my microphone. That's better. I came to put my microphone on and my little spongy bit on the end had fallen off and I couldn't see it. I've just spotted it on the floor, so we're back intact now, so that's good. So yes, creativity is calling. The autumn winter catalogue, I have them here. Emily's been here today, busy helping me put the labels on the back, so they're all ready to go into customers' hands so that they can be creating their wish lists. So yes, do get your hands on yours. Right, so I've got in front of me here some cards that I have already previously created with this bundle. So this was the one that we made on Monday morning when we cased the catalogue with this little stamps that we curved round so it went all round the centre of our stitched circle, and we did stamping in 2 different coloured cards and did a bit of fussy cutting and put them together, some sequins. So a really effective little card. So that one was it's just under a 4-inch square card. So that was the one that we made on Monday. I did say on Monday that I'd previously cased another sample from the catalogue, and that's this one here. I love this with these bright colours, just really bounces off the card, doesn't it? So it's got a little mucky mark on that. That's because it's been hanging around for a little while, has done the tours, literally the county tour, so it's been around quite a few classes, so they do sometimes get a little bit battered. And this one was one that we stamped the balloon onto some designer series paper. So this is the designer series paper from the It Starts With Art collection, which of course was our product of the week last week. So that's one of the papers from that particular suite, and we've just stamped the balloon onto it, punched it out, used some trees from the winter wood, embossed some clouds, and away you go with a beautiful balloon soaring above the clouds. So today, as I say, I haven't had a lot of time to prep anything, so we are going a bit on the hoof, but I thought that we would do a card in some really quite masculine colours. As I was sort of browsing Pinterest, as we all do, I came across a sample of a card that was created with the balloon dies and stamp that we used to have. And it was sort of done in quite muted browns and greys and sort of those sort of colours. And I thought, actually, that's a really nice idea. That's a little bit different. It's because balloons are fabulous for mail cards. You know, it doesn't always have to be football and beer. So balloons are a fabulous resource for mail cards. And actually to do it in some really quite masculine colours, I thought would be a good way forward. So we're going to do a card, and then we're going to have a play doing some other things. So let's have a go at our card first. So the colours that I've grabbed, and as I say, this is absolutely coming off the top of my head. I've not even really got beyond the colours. We've got the colours, and we'll see where we go with it, I think is the order of the day. So I have picked up some Early Espresso, some Night of Navy, and some Sahara Sand. So they're the three colours that I've picked. So I thought we would have have a bit of a play. No, I think we're going to go with an Early Espresso card base. So let's cut ourselves an Early Espresso card base. So in order to do that, we're going to cut this at 14.9 centimetres, spin it round and score it at 10.5. So there is our card base ready to go. And then we'll have a Night of Navy mat to go on that, so that's going to be cut at, sorry, my wire is getting caught in the trimmer and it keeps making the camera wobble. So 14.4 centimetres, we're going to cut that out. I need a new blade in this trimmer, and I'm going to turn it round and cut that at 10 centimetres. So that is our mat to go on our Early Espresso card base. And then we're going to have a further mat on the top that we're going to do our stamping on, and that's in Sahara Sand. So we'll do that at 13.9 by 9.5. So for each of those, I've come down ½ centimetre. If you've got smelly vision, I've actually got a hot glue plugged in here. It's a very funny smell, isn't it, when your hot glue gun is on. I keep just getting a waft of my hot glue, but we shall need that in a little while, so it's ready to go. Now, let's stick. No, I'm going to hold fire until I've decided what I want to do with ribbon and things. Always best to hold fire. Let's wait a minute before we decide what we're going to do with that. Right, so we've got our 3 balloons on here. So we could be doing a background image with fancy bits on the top, and I think that's perhaps what we will do, just to give it some colour in the background. We've got little balloons that we could be doing. But let's start with at least one big balloon, I think. I think we'll have that colour, that one, and let's go for this one with it. And I think I'm going to do 2 balloons like that, and then I think we'll have in some little balloons as well. Where's the little fill-in bits for those balloons? There they are. Right, okay. Can you hear my brain ticking? I suppose I should just be grateful I have a brain to tick. Okay. So I hope you've all had a good day today, doing exciting things, or at least nothing that's too depressing. And you've had a productive day and got all the things done that you want to get done. That's always a good feeling if you've managed to tick off all the jobs that you want to get done. So do comment and let us know what you've been up to today, if you've been doing something nice. Let me know if you've ever been in a hot air balloon. I haven't. I don't know that it's something that I fancy really. I'm not very good with heights. I'm going to just try that again, and I'm going to bring in my foam mat. So let's ink that up again with our early espresso ink. That's better. And then we'll stamp it on here, and I think we'll have one at the top there. Lovely stuff. Now that looks like that might have a bit of a hair or something on that stamp. Let's give that a wipe just to see. So we'll stamp that off again, and then we'll have one down this bottom, I think. And then while we've got the early espresso ink out, we'll stamp that, ink that up again, and this time I can't get my head right over the top, so I'm hoping that's fairly well lined up, not too bad. Hello Jackie. That one's better, isn't it? So we've got a couple of early espresso balloons. Now somewhere I have my Simply Chamois. Let's clean up our stamps, because I think we're going to need that one in a minute. If you follow my blog, you'll know that yesterday I did a blog post about sort of the idea. I was having a conversation with a customer about trying to limit the use of baby wipes, because, you know, there are some concerns about the environmental impact of baby wipes, and we were talking about the alternatives, and of course the Simply Chamois is one of the alternatives. We have quite a few cleaning tools that you can use. That means that you're not having to use your baby wipes, and the Simply Chamois is one of those. I'm going to do some second generation blue balloons up there, and just to keep things a little bit even, we'll do some second generation blue balloons down there too. Give that a bit of a clean. And then we'll ink up these balloons which provide the pattern on the top. Excuse my head if it's getting in your way. I'm trying to avoid. It's not easy to line these up when you can't get your head, because normally you would look straight over it. But that's not a bad effort. Not a bad effort. So we've got some blue balloons and some early espresso balloons on the background there. Now somewhere I had a small piece of soft suede card, and I thought I would do a big Night of Navy balloon on here. So let's just put that down in this bottom corner, because I'm going to punch this one out. That makes it sound like I'm going to get violent with it, doesn't it? That's not my intention. And then we'll bring in the other balloon with the different pattern on. And let's bring that in just there. And then we'll find our balloon punch. And punch that out. So we'll have a blue balloon coming in here somewhere. Yet to decide where. we'll also get a little bit of, a little bit of early espresso card. I had some little oddments somewhere, and we'll just punch out a few of these little banner pieces, these little triangles. Let's have one more for luck. And then we also want some baskets, so let's do some of those in early espresso as well. So obviously we could have stamped these, but I think we'll just punch some out. So we want 1, 2, and one more for luck. 3 little baskets. Okay, and then let's decide on a greeting. What about let your dreams soar? So we'll stamp that up with, let's go for early espresso ink. And then we'll just do ourselves, we'll cut those little greetings out. Ooh, see, that shows that I've not ready. Where's my snips? Here they are. Hi, Robin. It's lovely to have so many people joining us. There we are. We'll have a We Rise by Lifting Others. And somewhere I have got some oddments of Knight of Navy card. I don't know about you, but I have oddments of everything. I have bags full of oddments of everything, and at some point when I get some time I need to go through my bag of oddments and decide what is actually worth keeping and what is just taking up space in the box. Every now and then I have to take myself in hand. Get a grip, Helen. That really isn't worth keeping. So we've got our little sentiment just there as well. So let's have a look. I think we need to bring in some dimensionals. And start putting our balloons on. So these are the end bits of the dimensional, so I'm just pulling bits off for these. And I think we'll have that sort of in the middle of the 2 early espresso ones. So the back balloons, I'll just put a little blob of glue on for their baskets. There's one. So this is a fairly simple sort of a project. Could almost class it as a simple stamping project, perhaps perhaps a slightly more advanced than straight beginner. But it doesn't take too much equipment. You've got a couple of different coloured ink pads, so although we've got a few different shades of colour, we've only actually used 2 ink pads. Only actually got 3 colours of cardstock. So let's put some bunting coming across our balloon here. Somewhere, there you are. I have another little we have our greeting to go on there. Now I'm just wondering whether, I think actually I'm going to stick this to my blue mat. So it's Night of Navy. So these are really bringing out the dark colours. In fact, Night of Navy these days, along with Merry Merlot, is one of the colours that you find in the neutral section. They used to be classed as regal colours, but these days they're classed as neutrals, and that's sort of as a it's taking a lead from home decor and fashion and those sorts of things, where they always have some of these sort of stronger colours in their colour palette, in their neutral palette. But they are very useful colours to have in their own right, as well as being useful in that colour, that neutral palette. Right, where's our little greeting? Just there. And I'm thinking, I was quite fancying the idea of a little bit of this denim ribbon. I think we'll perhaps have some of that coming as a swirly bit behind here. The balloons are so lovely, aren't they? And they are so versatile. You can really girlify them. You can make them pink and pretty and flowery and all of those sorts of things. You can, like we're doing here, really make them masculine. But you can use them for all sorts of greetings as well, all sorts of occasions. So, you know, you could have balloons, you know, for in some sort of subdued colours, would make sympathy cards. They'd make great cards for congratulations, new job, those sorts of things, as well as birthdays for girls and boys, and all sorts of ages. Retirement card, make a good retirement card. Encouragement, sort of lifting people up, some of the sentiments really. So this one is we rise by lifting others, so that's really an encouragement sort of a card. So there we go. I might perhaps in a minute see if I can find some little spots of something to go in the background there. Might even, actually what I might do is if I can find them. Sorry if I'm wobbling you again. I might just take the Early Espresso ink and actually just fill in some of these gaps with a few little Early Espresso birds. That's probably as much as that needed. It needed something, but that perhaps is the something that it needed. So there we have a really quite masculine card. I've got a bit of a blob just there from my balloon. But yes, I can sort of work on doing something with that. But there's so really nice, quite masculine coloured cards. So in that sort of Early Espresso, stamped off to give you that light shade, bit of Night of Navy, the same idea, and those colours on the card base and in your mats and those sorts of things. So a really masculine card to go with some of the brighter pinks and really bright colours that I'd already showed you. Now the other project that I've got is actually one that I can't take any credit for at all, but the balloon punch I was talking on Monday is that one of the things that you can use your balloon punch for is to create petals. And I'm looking around, what have I done with it? So forget that that's a balloon. Actually, it's a lovely petal shape to make really big flowers. And one of the things that from very early on, from first seeing it, I wanted to make was a rose with this, and I've actually found a lady that had done that, so I'm sort of taking guidance from her to go on and create our rose. But there's lots of other things you can do, so you can just take sort of 4 or 5 of these, curl them round a bit, shape them, and you can very easily make some really big statement piece flowers. So if you can imagine that in sort of white with perhaps some sponging around the edge and a bit of sponging in the middle, shaped, perhaps some leaves underneath, really good size for things like home decor projects. You can also use the big balloon punch. So these big petals at the back here are using the balloon punch, and the inner petals are using our magnolia dies, and again that's just sponged, so white card that's been sponged with yellow, a yellow centre die cut. This sort of magnolia centre has all been die cut, but the outside petals are all from the balloon punch, and there's quite a lot, there's suggestions about that in the catalogue, as well as elsewhere, and I think one of Stampin' Up's videos on YouTube talks about using this big balloon punch as your outside petals for big magnolias, and that is the top of a pizza box, so you know that's a good size flower, and you can really easily build up frames that you can put pictures in, as well as gift boxes and all sorts of things, as well as really stunning cards. You know, you could have exploding box cards, all sorts of things that you could have these big flowers on. So we're going to have a go at making one of these roses. Now, I'd had a bit of a start at making one myself, sort of off the top of my head yesterday, and then I saw these suggestions, so I thought actually that's quite good. Let's go with what she's done and let's just follow her lead and see where we go. So I've actually punched out 18 balloons, and I've used Merry Merlot card. Now you could use Tombow, but I'm actually going to use a hot glue gun, because apart from anything else, it does give you sort of quicker results. So as we are wanting it to dry quite quickly and to be able to handle it quite quickly, hot glue gun is the way to go. Ooh, my hot glue gun is very squeaky this evening. So to start off with, we're going to take 3 pairs of our balloons and form them into, they look like big bow ties, don't they? So we're going to create 3 big bow ties from 3 pairs of petals. Like that. And we are going to need our bone folder. So I'm going to curl these in a bit, just to help me get them started, because we are going to be rolling these up. Your bone folder to shape your card. So we're going to take one side and roll it up really quite tightly. Now I am just following the instructions. I've not actually done this yet. And then we're going to fold the other side up and roll that round. So again, it's quite tight, but it won't be quite as tight as the initial one, and we'll put a little bit of a blob of glue in there to hold that in place. So that's our first bit. Let's curl these round. So we're going to do exactly the same, and we're going to offset them. So our 3 double pairs, we're going to be building up, doing exactly the same thing. So let's take one side, let's put a little bit of blob of glue on the bottom there, just to hold it in place, and bring up one side, roll it round, bring up the other side, roll it round. Now obviously if you were doing this at home, you would be taking a great deal more care than I am. One of the best bits about glue guns is being able to pull off the threads that have dried. Something really satisfying about that. Right, so number 3, let's curl that round. So the lady who has put this on, it's on her, that I found on Pinterest, obviously on her blog, is a lady called Bronwyn Eastleigh. And she has a PDF tutorial that you can print out. Giving you all the instructions. Now obviously this is not a quick and easy done in 2-minute project. So each layer as it comes round is going to be a little bit fatter, a little bit further out. So let's squeeze that round. So there we have, and I shall at the end tidy up all the little bits of glue that are still showing. So there's our flower centre. Now we're going to take 4 of these petals, and again we're going to curl them so that they're coming inwards with our bone folder. Two, 3, one more for luck. Right, so these ones we're going to put on the outside, so we'll, whichever side we start with, put that on that side. And bring it round and put the other one on the opposite side. Of curling them round into place. And then we'll turn it round and do 2 on the, I was going to say other opposite sides, but hopefully, sorry, bit far off to the side. There we go, is that any better? So we're just coming round on the 4 sides. Ooh. Might need to add a bit more glue into my glue gun. So we've got 2 petals going this side, 2 petals going that side. It's just stuck to the bottom, so those are 4 loose ones. Sorry, Wendy, you get so carried away, don't you, with what you're actually doing, that you forget that people are trying to watch. Not helpful. Okay. So now we're going to take 4 more petals, and these ones we're going to curl so they go outwards like this. So they're sort of like that shape. I can just hear my daughter coming in. She's been away for a couple of days. She's just coming in to fetch the dog. So that's all right. She'll have a fuss with the dog and a chat with her dad, and then we won't be far away, will we? So again, we're going to add in these petals, working sort of 4 sides, if you like. If you can have 4 sides of a circle, that's what we're going to do. So this is 1 coming in here. I'm just going to grab another glue stick, pop a bit of glue on the end of that so that it sticks when I throw it in there. That's it. So we've got 1 that side. Let's come across and do 1 this side. Burn your fingers, that has to be done if you're using a hot glue gun. Hi Sarah. 1 this side. And then, last but not least, and unsurprisingly, bye Jackie, see you soon. And 1 this side. So it's all very gluey on the bottom here, and I will tidy that all up when I've finished. So last but not least, we're going to take these 4 petals and we're just going to snip off the ends just here. Oh, sorry, making you wobble. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what we're going to do with these is we're going to tuck them in the inside there, because you've got quite a big gap between this and this, so it just needs something to feed in there, and that's what we're going to do with these. So we're going to run a bit of glue along the edge there and sort of tuck it in there, push that down and let that grab. Same with the next one. Let's come round on the opposite side, push that down in there, hold it in place, and then 2 more. And obviously these are the sort that it'll depend on how tight you've rolled them as to what your finished result looks like. This has actually got a bit of a nick. Obviously when I punched it, it wasn't quite a perfect balloon, but actually that gives it a bit of a touch of reality, because nature is not 100% perfect all the time. You have little nibbles and damage from sun and rain and insects, and look at that. So there we have a rather beautiful rose. So it just needs one more thing. So here I've got some garden green card. Again, we're going to take our balloon punch and we're going to punch out 3 more balloons. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to give them a bit of an outward curl. We'll curl them both ways, so outwards and roundwards. Now I saw one of the examples that Bronwyn had got. She'd actually got it in like a perspex or like an upside down mason jar sort of effect. Be really effective. They'd look really good. You could use them as table decorations, perhaps even at weddings and things. Obviously this, as I say, this is the first one I've ever done, so this is a little bit on the hoof, but I think actually, considering it's the first one I've ever done, that's not bad, because you would tweak with it and find, you know, which is how tight you need all your sorry, I've moved it off again, how tight you need all your petals to be and those sorts of things, wouldn't you? You could take your pens and add some leaf details to those. Let's have one more over here. Yep, so that's all done with the balloon punch, Sarah. So that's 18 balloons to create the rose and 3 more for the leaves. So that's a total of 21. And so that 18 isn't quite, so that's not a whole sheet of A4. It's less than a sheet of A4 cardstock. So yeah, so that could have been tighter in the middle, but actually that's really quite pretty, isn't it? And you could add on some epoxy droplets to look like little drops of rain, or some of our clear fine tip glue to add to little drops of rain. You could use some of our new sort of glittery crystal stuff. I bet that would look quite pretty, wouldn't it? You could add, if you were doing these as Christmas roses, if you were adding them to a Christmas decoration, you could add little bits of glitter around the edges. You could do them in all sorts of colours. So they're really quite pretty, aren't they? So, balloon punches, not just for your balloons, also for your flowers. And then we've got Let me move that hot glue gun out of the way. So we've got our flowers, we've got our magnolia box there, and we've got our different cards. So the one that we've just made, the really masculine one, and then some that I've made previously, and the one that we made on Monday morning. So lots and lots of fabulous projects that you can create just using your balloon stamp set above the clouds and your balloon punch. There's our balloon punch. So thank you for joining me today. As I said at the beginning, I have got a whole pile of Christmas catalogues here, so if anybody would like one of those, do let me know. But yeah, I will leave you with a red rose that obviously is there to symbolise how much I love you all, and thank you for joining me. Yes, Wendy, sorry, you're going to have that. You're going to have to add that to the huge list of things that you're going to want from the autumn winter catalogue as well. Yeah, I think selling body parts is definitely the way to go. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Hope those of you that are not yet asleep and should be asleep manage to get some sleep, and I'll check back in with you on Monday morning.